All right. Are we live on the platforms before I hit live on Instagram? And maybe we'll. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Oh, let me hit the record button. See, I knew it'd be a thing. Record to the cloud. Yeah, I'm loud enough. And cancel. And start. All right. Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Z, Dr.Z Gross, from the owner of Greater Self LLC. This is a lovely morning, and anticipate hearing noises, stuff, things happening, because clearly I'm not at my regular location. I'm actually preparing to go partake in some masterminding today. So good morning. So out here on vacation, technically vacation, but like business work. But I wanted to jump on here today still, and I probably should have considered planning a little bit differently and still share a little bit more while we're in the month of February about love. And I decided this is my opportunity to talk about different physical things in regards to love and what prompted this conversation. And I don't have my tea this morning or my coffee, so for sure it's going down right after this. What prompted today's conversation was the fact that I was just noticing there's a lot more adults that I'm seeing that are taking a bigger investment in themselves physically. Not that people haven't and didn't do that in the past, but more often than not, just you can even see right now, like I got braces. Part of that is because I wanted to start to embody a greater version of myself. So that journey has looked like various different things at different times that have been able to allow me to start to enhance or drastically shift and change what's happening with my physical body. Because in my coaching program, when I talk about the mind, body, and self, the body is the vehicle that's actually moving us around and getting us to and from the things that we're doing. So if we're not in a position where we're starting to intentionally show love for our bodies and like taking care of them and not abusing them like we might have done in our younger years. And I know if anybody's cleared 21, you definitely might have pushed your body to the limits and to the max to see what can my body do? What will that look like? How hard can I keep going and still be okay? Innately, there's nothing wrong with how hard you go and how much your body can take. But it's amazing how if you give yourself an opportunity and a chance, it gets easier to actually manipulate and have your body do what you need it to do, hence giving it some love. And what that love can look more like is people are familiar with self-love, but what about self-care, self-maintenance, self-soothing? These are different components of it. And I've talked about it before, but when you're looking at your body, how often do you not only maintain it? So maybe that looks like eating good food that works for you. It may look like working out. It can look like going to sleep at a decent time, getting enough water, staying hydrated. These are different things that you can do to maintain your body, but also giving it a little love is being good and great with where your body currently is and still being okay with exploring different ways to transition into how you might want to enhance it. Clearly, I change my hair a lot because I like the way it looks in different styles and the way my attention span is set up. I like to do different things. Choosing to work out and get a very intense workout routine, exploring different vitamins and supplements that I can take to enhance my workouts. What other things are things that I have personally done that I have seen other people do, but instead of looking at it from a space of, oh, that person may be being vain or like doing the most, what if there was a transition in how you view it and this person is choosing to love themselves, and part of what that physical love for themselves looks like is what are the things that they can do to start to improve the way they show up so that they feel just as good about themselves on the inside as they look on the outside. And it starts from within, obviously, but things start to transition outwardly as you get more comfortable and start caring more about you, it gets a lot easier to work on those things that the rest of the world can visibly start to see. If anybody that's currently watching has chosen to get braces, either again or for the first time as an adult, I would love to hear some of your experiences, because believe it or not, I don't know why someone would be coming to the door right now, but room service probably needs to change some things and make some adjustments. I'm not going to be getting up to handle that in this moment because I'm here with you all. But I'd love to hear some of your experiences of maybe getting braces the second time or third, if some of you have maybe been like me, because I definitely have been there. This is round 3, and there was an intentional, okay, so clearly I may need to pause for just a moment. Hold 1 second. All right, I don't know if that worked or not on the pause on the sound, but we're back. So at one point in my life, I decided, and this is, yes, story time. I decided that I would get braces. And because of where I was at in life, it was probably before I was 20, clearly before I was 21. And I got them on. And then at the time, me and my roommate decided we would go to the Army. So before we did that, we were like training and like trying to get our bodies like in shape. So that way, when we got there, we'd like be in better shape than what we were about to learn once we got to the Army. So needless to say, I had to take my braces off to be able to go through basic training. Okay, cool. It wasn't that big a deal. Fortunately, back in the day, good morning, people were much more willing to help people if they were choosing to become a soldier. Take them off, go to the Army, whatever, get out, come back. And I'm like, all right, let's do this again. As an adult, go ahead and get the braces on. Not a problem. It goes well. And then I don't know about any of you all, but you lose a retainer once, twice, you get dental work done, things change and shift. And then after a while, you're like, F it, I don't care. Clearly, there was another shift. And I decided, no, I really, for myself, want my teeth to look the best that they can. And I'm willing to take care of them to do so. And I'm sure you all know there's like tons of different options of how to do it. And I had to choose one that was going to really work best for me, which looks like getting actual braces. Because I know there's other things that seem a little less temporary, but it helps to know who you are and what you have the capacity for. I do like to like jump out of bed and just go. If I needed to, and this is knowing that about myself, and it helps for you all to explore this too, I needed to find things that would allow me the opportunity to be able to just go, not have to work hard every single morning. And in my mind, I felt like it was work hard. If I'm going to spend the extra time and energy doing things that will be supportive to my physical, mental, emotional health, I would rather spend that time doing it somewhere else. So instead of worrying about like how to put in maybe the retainers for Invisaligns or whatever those other options were, for me, it made sense to go get traditional braces, which have historically worked for years and years. And it did help that my daughter was getting something. I was like, oh, we can do this together. How fun. I don't know if she feels the same way or not, but having something more permanent that was also working on a more permanent transformation made more sense physically for me to be able to do what I needed to do. Looking at that, some folks are aware they have more time. You may have more patience. If you know there's something that you'd like to work on or change, do it from the space that feels best for you. Some folks definitely go and get plastic surgery. And I'm a big like, yes, if you have the money, go ahead and do it, because you're still going to have to do work anyways. Just because people get surgery done doesn't mean they don't have to recover. It doesn't mean they're not still going to have to be careful and cautious of how they do or don't move their body. But if that enhancement is one, something they can afford, I'm not afraid of hard work in the gym, but if you can see a result sooner, or you can get a push to move forward with the goals that you're working towards, why wouldn't you give yourself that gift? Why would you need to keep working harder to be able to say you worked harder unless that is truly what works best for you? If you prefer to just go to the gym and you're good with taking a little bit longer to still reach the same end goal, go for it. If you love yourself and you have the time, go for it. If you love yourself and you have the money, you're still going to spend the time later anyways. Spend the money and go for it. Once you get older and get into a place or a point, good morning. Oh, from Kenya. Okay. Well, good morning. I appreciate you jumping on in the Facebook group. Just had to click over and see that. But sometimes people will make judgments against other folks because of their choices of how they choose to go about caring for their body, making enhancements, and doing other things. And is there a possibility that someone can go too far and maybe it's beyond love and maybe more of, gosh dang it, what is that word? Maybe more of an obsession? Possibly. But until that happens, it's their choice, it's their body. The best thing any of us can do is to check out where we stand and what works best for us, what feels good and comfortable for us, what will allow us to be the greatest version of ourselves. So that way we can do those things that are supportive to it. So I'm sure some people are probably like, physical love, like, ooh, she's about to talk about, nope, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about how you care about yourself, talking about how you love your physical body, how you make sure this machine called how you show up visually, you take care of it. Do you do things to your hair? Do you take care of your skin? I was clearly jumping fresh out of the shower and coming back over here to my designated little corner. I was like, oh, I got to put some moisturizer on. And then also took some supplements because I am in a very crowded place and I'll be here. So I took some things that have some good immunity boosting properties, as well as, and I take this every day, even though I work from home. I just want to be safe in the house. What are some other things that can be supportive? Oh, all right, world. I'm just going to tell you guys, this is a really big secret, and I'm actually going to share it. But believe it or not, I have sleep apnea, which people that know me are probably like, I already knew it was a problem. But and having that, at some point, I had to stop being scared and finally go ahead and do a sleep study, find out, yes or no, do I really? And they're like, absolutely, you do, ma'am. Got my little machine. So I sleep with the machine at night. So I don't just wake up and look like this. I wake up and pull off masks and hair scarves and other things. But being able to have a machine that can manipulate the way you breathe so you can actually rest, game changer. I'm sure some folks are probably like, why would you tell people you have a CPAP machine? Well, why would we tell anybody anything? If you're sharing information about how to care and love for yourself, this is something that I have embraced and something that I use. So I'm sharing it just in case someone else, and I took it traveling. This is the first time I traveled with it, thanks to someone pushing me and suggesting that I should definitely get a good sleep instead of what I typically do when I go other places. Is I just try to sleep real light so no one hears me snore, so no one else is interrupted. Clearly not the best way to take care of myself if I'm not ensuring that I also get rest. But I brought it with me, traveled all around, and slept pretty good, I would say. Clearly, I got a bunch of energy, no tea, no coffee yet, but being able to bring that machine with me afforded me an opportunity to have another level of comfort while I'm traveling, as well as the opportunity to actually feel good in the morning, to feel good about myself, to know, okay, you're really taking care of yourself. Something else I wanted to show you all, just because, like I said, the braces thing is so intriguing and they'll be gone probably another month or two. So I have to let that go and understand that this was the last time. We won't be doing this again because we will be putting extra maintenance in. I came across these things on Amazon and bring it closer and then closer, but it's this cool little thing, and I'm hoping the thing doesn't flip, where after I eat, just to kind of not be out here with my whole entire meal stuck in my teeth, these have been super helpful towards being able to get stuff out in between the braces, and then just even the teeth that aren't impacted like that. I wanted to share it. They're on Amazon. They come in a little pack. It's like 50 of them, but these things are amazing, especially if you don't want to sit there and take for those. Again, if you got the braces, if you know, and I do need to put my rubber bands on for today, but if you don't want to sit there and try to like figure out how to get the floss through and then do each individual tooth, this thing, boop, 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 done. They should probably pay me for that little advertisement. But anyhow, wanted to share that just in case anybody was wondering and on their journey as an adult, as a child, or want to pass it on to other folks they care about. No, we are getting close to time, and I absolutely am going to be moving and getting this day going. I might share some of it. I might just stay in the moment and share later. Depends on how I'm feeling. But I'm wondering if anybody else has any questions, observations, thoughts, or concerns about physical self-love since I'm sure there were probably very eluding and elusive things that might have been thoughts about the topic for today's Tea Talk. I'm open and available for questions on any of the platforms out there. And while I'm waiting, I also made sure to bring a jump rope with me. I was at a class last Friday and was sharing with them that I bring a jump rope with me now that I've been introduced to it, because you never know when you might want to work out and just need to get some extra energy going. So I travel with a jump rope for just in case I want to work out. So it is a thing. It's happening. I will probably jump once or twice. I know, just very persistent about trying to help early in the morning. So the room that I'm in, there are a couple of things that they could have done differently or helped with. So we called this morning, and I appreciate the promptness of the hotel. I do. I really do. But like, if you guys heard them banging on the door, it's like, okay, like, I know we called. That doesn't mean people are functional. Anyhow, clearly I am. We got the changes, the shifts. I'm guessing nobody has any questions or concerns. Next month is probably going to look a little bit different, and I won't be here this Thursday. I'll actually be traveling during the time we would normally be scheduled for our Tea Talk. So instead of changing the time, we'll just postpone it. We'll be back fresh in, what is that? Maybe I might do the last Tuesday, which is a very special day for me anyways. So we'll see how that goes. Any ideas or topics? I'd love to hear what you all want to hear about. Clearly, I'm entertained by myself without anyone else, but I really want to make sure that I'm able to offer something that's supportive to you all, that maybe topics you care about, anything along the lines of mind, body, self, time. I don't want to say I'm not a money guru by any means whatsoever, but I've learned some things about where you spend your 24/7 every day that totally make a difference, and how much money you do or don't have and where it goes, and being able to shift your mindsets and stories behind it. Just as learning that taking care of your body is just as important as taking care of your mind. If you're reading and learning great things, but you're feeding your body a bunch of trash, like you're not eating food that works for you, i.e., I had the luxury of becoming allergic to shellfish at the age of 21, right when I was about to like get out there and start dating hard for real. My body was like, you won't be ordering the lobster dinners. You will be ordering chicken or steak, but no lobsters for you. Getting over that was, maybe that's a funny story I might share with sometime, but that was definitely a thing, to have to transition from being able to access and eat certain things that my body would not, I would literally cannot live if I try to eat it now. Just the same as some of you out there, I don't know who, but somebody needs to hear this. If you have a lactose intolerance, why would you keep hurting yourself? And seriously, like taking all the dairy in, and not, at least, if you're going to do it, at least save the rest of the world and like take an enzyme or a supplement or something that will allow your stomach to process it, since it doesn't naturally do so. that everyone around you doesn't have to be harmed by the blowout of what that looks like. Also, why would you want to feel that way? Because believe it or not, it probably impacts more than just that immediate moment. When you wake up in the morning, if you've got a bunch of mucus and like stuff going on, there's probably some things you're eating that aren't working well with you. And looking at what's in your diet will make a huge difference in you being able to feel good from the moment you wake up because you got enough rest, because you're hydrated enough to do so, and just things like that. Well, I'm guessing no one has any questions. I don't have any suggestions so far for topics. So that means I'm going to keep talking about whatever I want to talk about. And hopefully you can find some value or space into it. I think next week's Tea Talk will kind of just be a story. It'll legit be a story time. I think that's how that might go. Well, I hope you all have an amazing day. That you give yourself a little more physical love, which can look like, what does your self-care routine? How does it go? Do you do self-maintenance? Do you do self-soothing? Do you make routines that are supportive towards your skin, your teeth, your hair, your body? Like, if you aren't, maybe these are some things to think about and explore. Are you just taking note of how you do you? Well, like I said, no questions, no comments. I will be seeing y'all next week. That's what I can commit to, next week. So have an amazing day, and thank you all for joining me. Bye.